Hey, how's it going? Let's do a low-level, light, late-night comic book review of the illustrated story of dogs, The World Around Us, a classics illustrated publication. All right, let's sit down and get into this. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. There's an ad for Classics Illustrated on the back. Read the best in the world's finest juvenile publication. There's a lot of different titles there. Caesar's Quest. This isn't one of those, though. This is The World Around Us, the illustrated story of dogs. It's really nicely done. At first, I guess it's an interesting, I guess it's a painting. All right, so down here you can see there's a caveman with like the first dog companion. There's a fire, and here's some domesticated breeds of different types. Here's a beautiful German Shepherd, and this is a pointer, a hunting dog of some sort, right? A spaniel, a hound dog, perhaps, some sort of a hound, a bird dog. That's what he's doing. He's pointing at a duck or a pheasant, or quail. How old is this? World Around Us, September 1958, number one. September 1958. A lot of people don't know these comics exist. They do. They're typically not hard to find, and they're not usually expensive. And if you don't give them a try, you're missing out, and you're going to see over the course of this video. This is the illustrated story of dogs. This is the Dog Star. All these different types of dogs. Look at this little Pomeranian looking thing. At the beginning of the world, says an ancient legend, God caused a gulf to open between Adam and the different animals. Among them stood the dog, sadly watching the widening split. But before it was too late, the dog leaped across the divide and stood by man's side. He has been there ever since. Oh, that's nice at the bottom. Look at the last sentence. Today, the dog's place is not only by man's side, but in his heart. Oh, boy. So I read this about 10 years ago. I remember a little bit. I recognize this. Moustache. So this is a black standard poodle, like one of the large full-size poodles. These are kind of tough dogs if you've ever known one or been around one. They're tough. Like, you don't think of a poodle as being tough, but these guys are actually pretty tough. They swim really well too, and they're hunting dogs. This is a story about a Napoleonic campaign, and this dog Moustache, he's a hero. This is Balto. This is one that they made into an animated movie, I think. Look how nice the illustration is, and the panel setting. It's very standard, traditional illustrations. Some people might think it's dry, but look at this panel up this dog's booty. You don't see that a lot. It is an interesting panel, isn't it? Oh, it's because he just fell down. Oh, there's a rescue happening. Something's going on. This is what he's seeing as they're leaving him behind. I don't know, but that's an interesting panel. Sorry to point that out to you. Yeah, man, look at them flying. But see, it's I like this. This is a comic that your grandmother might have bought for you, or your aunt. At the end, they find out that Balto has amazing reading skills. This is Bob of Carmel. This is a story that I grew up with, and I completely forgot that this was in here. And this is likely, this is probably who's on the cover. This is a famous dog. So I grew up in this place. So in California, along the coast, is a little spot called the Monterey Peninsula. There's a small town called Carmel, and this dog is famous there in the 19... What does that sound? Is that my voice? All right. In the 1930s, this dog was a hero and famous, and this guy is like, maybe this is the trainer. I forget his name. We learned about this story in school. So this dog was the most smart dog in the world, apparently, in like 1933. Like he became famous. Like he could do all different things. And this trainer, this in Carmel, was famous for training German shepherds in the 1930s and maybe before and maybe after. I don't know. I learned about this when I was in school in the 1970s. Um, so he's a hero. Uh, See, look, they're showing all the different things that he could do. Like he would send him to the store to get, I don't know. Anyway, he saves his owner's life, his owner and trainer, in a car accident thing, and then he saves his life again. He's like two times. Um, the same guy gets saved by the same dog, and he gets like, look, check this out. Wow, here, this is all we need to read. Okay, so I was able to, everything I learned and remember from eighth grade, we get to this point. In 1931, Bob of Carmel, the one time coward, was honored for his courage. On behalf of the state of California, I can't believe I'm messing this up. On behalf of the state of California, I award you this medal for being voted the bravest dog of the year. So he was bravest dog of the year in 1931. No, look at that. Bob, you saved my life again. He's pulling him up. This is a real small town. I mean, the most thing we're famous for is this German Shepherd, and Clint Eastwood was the mayor. How the dog began. Have you ever wondered where dogs come from? You would have to go back 40 million years, long before man existed, to find the first member of the dog family. Meiosis was the ancestor of both the dog and the bear. He didn't look or act like a dog. In fact, he spent much of his time in trees. He's kind of little, huh? Meiosis, he developed into Sinodictus. He's the grandfather of all dogs. And then almost another 10 million years later, we met Tamarctus, the father of the dog family. He looks like a pit bull, kind of, like a Staffordshire, doesn't he? That's cool. By the time the caveman, the dog's bark came closer to human speech than any other animal sound. That looks cool. See how good the art is in here? I mean, I think this is great. So if you hadn't clicked on this dog comic video, you would never have seen this illustration. Look how good that is. He's doing everything a dog does. The dog's first service to man was a scavenger. He cleaned up bones and garbage around the cave doors. Look, he's holding it with his two paws like they do. And then he's got it in here into the zone, into the gnawing zone. The ears are in position, and he's looking straight at us with a smile on his face. He's cool looking. He looks almost. I mean, that's a great drawing, man. This is what you get in these longer videos. Hope you're enjoying it. Okay. Oh, these look like Cane Corsos, or Mastiffs. Dogs of war. After the dog was domesticated, he began to enter every area of man's life. Since ancient times, he has served man in war. Attila the Hun used mastiffs as sentries to guard his camps. 385 BC, the Spartans used dogs as scouts. Philip of Macedon, who conquered Greece in 338 BC, used hounds as messenger dogs. During the Russo-Japanese War in 1904, Russians used English-trained dogs for rescuing the wounded. That looks like a Keeshond. We used to have a Keeshond. 10 years later, during World War I, dogs were used to guard magazines and ammo dumps in battle zones. That's a Doberman Pinscher. Ooh, this is a cool picture. Chips. What's that? What's Chip? By the time World War II broke out, the dog was a battle-trained veteran ready for his role in the United States Canine Corps. Whoa, Nelly. Look at that. That's great. The most famous canine dog was Chips, son of a husky and a Collie German Shepherd Cross. He was chosen leader of the first canine detachment to cross the Atlantic Ocean during the Allied invasion of Africa. Wow, look, there's Chips. They were lowered into amphibious tanks. Don't be afraid, Mina. Look at Chips. Here come the bombers. Hit the dirt. Look at Chips go. So they're landing in North Africa or something? Morocco? French Morocco? Whew, this is sketch, huh? Scary. Chips watched his master dig a foxhole. Then, that's the area, Chips. Dig it deeper. So Chips helped him to dig the foxhole. Look at him right there. He's ready. Oh boy, here they come. Whew, they're creeping up. They're creeping up. Wait, what? Do we miss something? By then they saw Chips and his comrades. They stole away. Oh, they ran off, I guess. They were scared of Chips. Scout the terrain forward. Let's go, Chips. Wow, that's a great shot. Look at that panel. These are really, so this is like professionally, oh, look at this panel. Wow, that's nice. Look at this professionally done stuff. These are like real illustrators that learned to be, I mean, they're not just drawing comic books. These guys, they learned this skill to be able to draw advertising and illustration of all kinds, not just comic books, like anything and everything. Their drawing talent was going to be used for everything. And I mean, this is some great talent. This particular story I'm really liking. Look at that. Suddenly Chips started to growl. Look at how good that picture is. Wow. Man, this is good stuff. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you're having a good time. Hope you're doing well. Everything's cool. Is that Dwight D. Eisenhower congratulating Chips in person? But when he tried to pat him, he nipped Ike's hand. Look, he's biting Ike on the hand. And that's the end of the story. It ends right there. But when he tried to pat him, he nipped the general's hand. Jesus, Chips. Man. Andy. Now this is this Doberman that's like spotting Japanese snipers. When American troops invaded the Japanese-held islands of the Pacific, scout dogs led them through the dense jungle, sending the enemy who waited to ambush them. Good job, buddy. Good job. Look at that guy. He sees something. We're depending on you, boy. These are great dogs. These big Dobermans, these Dobies, these big tall ones. They're really smart. I mean, these guys are super, super smart. These might be one of the top, like, 3 smartest dogs. Like, as far as intelligence goes and everything, Well, I mean, intelligence usually does play a large part in being smart. That's a great panel. This is the same guy that drew the Chips story, right? Man, it looks good. Wow. A lot of photo studies, right? Like, how many pictures did they take of these dogs? It seems like I'm looking at a lot of photos of dogs that they have then, you know what I mean? There's photo studies behind this. Look at how good that is. He's running right at us. He's running right at the camera, and he's throwing a grenade right at the camera. That looks so great. Boom. Wow. Who would have thought there would be just death and devastation in a dog comic? You know how you could figure it out? Look in here. 1958. That's how you know. Remember what I said? This is a comic that your grandmother or your mom would buy you? Right? They did, but they were tricking your mom and your grandmother. Your mom and your grandmother didn't know that inside of here there was grenades being thrown and people blowing up. They thought that it would just be pictures of dogs. They thought, it's just going to be, it's going to teach him about the different breeds of dogs that exist, right? He'll learn all about the different dogs, Pifka. But it's not that. It's a lot of war stories, right? Look at it all. It's great. Don't sleep on the illustrated story of dogs, the world around us. It's been a lot of war stories, a lot of action, and a lot of great dog pictures. Whoa. Ferocious crocodiles. Man, and then there's more Japanese soldiers. And another grenade. I'll throw it back. It slipped. Silver jump. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Coming in for more. Bruce sprang up with a roar. Get this guy. The Japanese dropped their rifles and ran. Bruce, you saved our lives, buddy. Good job, pal. What's going on over here? Canine clippings. Dogs see everything in the color gray. Ooh, I like that illustration of that dog. I like these cartoony looking dogs. Newfoundland dogs are excellent fishermen. They often catch fish just for fun. Did not know that. That's weird looking. In Japanese legends, the dog represents the protector of mankind, while the cat represents the enemy. German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, Labradors, and Rottweilers are used by the Royal Canadian. Oh, so this is the part of the book of this comic that your grandmother thought the whole comic was going to be like. She thought that this was what everything in here was going to be. She didn't know that there would be people shooting or blowing people up, and yeah, awesome. St. Bernard, German Shepherd, Boxer, Alaskan Malamute, Great Dane. Look at them all. Doberman Pinscher, Collie, Eskimo, and here's the sporting dogs. What's this first group? It's big breed or large breed or working dogs. Working dogs. So St. Bernard is first, then German Shepherd, then Boxer. My parents used to have a boxer named Susie. Alaskan Malamute, Great Dane, Doberman Pinscher, Collie, Eskimo, the cousin to the Malamute. Sporting dogs, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever, the Golden Retriever, the English Setter, the Irish Setter. These are such nice dogs. My cousin had an Irish Setter. She had a, give me a second, I almost had her name. I almost said Flag, but I don't think Flag was it. She had that. She had a name that was like an inanimate object. It might have been Flag. I can't remember her name, but she was a hunting dog. So my uncle and my cousin, they had like kennels behind their house for duck hunting. They had like space. They had like, it's different. It seemed like there were like 6 or 8 dogs back there that were just for hunting. They never came in the house. They weren't pets. They like lived in cages. I'm not kidding. Saluki. This is an interesting dog. This is like a desert dog that is like a long-haired Afghan or something, or it's like a long-haired greyhound. They don't. I'm not even going to read this. I just know about these dogs. These dogs don't use scent because they live in the desert. They hunt by sight. Look, one of the world's oldest domestic animals is the Saluki. His image is found carved upon Egyptian tombs. Does it say? This it doesn't. Look here, sights. Look, the slender, graceful Saluki, a hunter who sights rather than scents his game. See, so he adapted to the living in the desert because it would be difficult to smell because of the wind or something, or the I'm not sure why, but they hunt by sight, not by scent. Here's a dachshund. These are cute little dogs. I like these dogs. I like how they feel. I like how dachshunds feel. They're really soft and silky, and I like them. I like their noses. I like their little paddle paws. They got little paddle paws, little wiener dogs. It's a wiener dog. Here's a basset hound. I had a buddy who had one of these dogs. It's just a big dog with little legs. It's like a full size. It's like having a giant dog, but it's just got short legs. I mean, they're big dogs. Here's a beagle. That's like Snoopy. Here's a bloodhound. I never even been around one in real life. Like I've never pet a pet. I don't think I've ever petted a bloodhound before. Afghan hounds. Look at these. Look at this. Is another desert dog. The Irish wolfhound. The greyhound. I always thought these were cool dogs, but I've never really been around one. I don't think I've ever pet one. I've been to the dog the races before. I've been to the dog tracks a bunch of times. But I don't think I've ever pet one. I don't remember that. Terriers. Wire-haired fox terrier, smooth-haired fox terrier. Pedlington. Look at these guys. That's the guy with that. He's got like a, I don't know, what do you call that? I don't know. Forelock. Sealyham. Airedale. This was a very popular dog. 30s and 40s, I think. They were in movies a lot. Pekingese. Sacred dog of the Chinese emperors. There's a poodle. We used to have a poodle, but it was a miniature one, a little one. It was about this big. That was my mom's dog. Long-haired Chihuahua. His name was Fluffy. Mexican hairless. Pomeranian. My Aunt Emily always had Pomeranians. The one that I remember the most was named Tammy. Her name was Tammy, and she was caramel colored. She was beautiful, such a great little dog. But she was named after that Debbie Reynolds movie, Tammy or something like that. I remember that's the story. So we had a dog like this. This was my dog, a Keeshond. I always said Keeshhound. Anyway, I had a dog just like this. Her name was Dove. I named her Dove after this book that I read about this kid that sailed around the world in a boat, and the name of the sailboat was Dove, and he sailed around the boat just with like his cat on the boat. And then I got this puppy. My mom surprised me with this puppy, and I had just finished that book, and so I named my dog Dove. I don't know why. I was like a little kid. I was like 11, like 5th grade, maybe 4th grade. It might have been 4th grade even. Anyway, it was a movie too. Might have seen the movie before I read the book. This is a Chow Chow. My sister had one of these dogs. I don't really care for chows. It's a Dalmatian. I had a buddy in the army who had a Dalmatian named Sport, and he was such a great dog. Super smart, just super obedient. Just a really good dog. Sport. That's a great name for a dog too. Better than Dove, right? Dog diagram. Wow, look at all of this stuff. I didn't realize. I mean, of course, not realizing. So it's just normal stuff. I mean, this is just occiput, right? And that's just, it means the front of your head. Or maybe this is the back of their brain, because on a human, the occipital lobe is the back. So this is the back. Crest, it's just this stuff. This is the withers, like on a horse. What's the most delicious part? This up in here. This is the kogogi. Is up in here. Is that inner flank, very lean. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's nothing to joke about. Dogs of peace now. Okay. The far frontier. So we opened up with the war, and now we're going to end with peace dogs. And the illustration has it's not as good. It's switched. It's changed. We got a new artist. It's not bad. It's not terrible, but it's not the same. So, but look, they're still going with these interesting angles. It's the same angles that we've seen in the other stories. At least that one was. But it's not as good of an illustrator. What's this? Dog paratroopers. Okay. Let's just skip ahead. Australian Alps. Lux, you're going to be the first dog paratrooper in history. This is like, well, look, they're putting him off the tower. He's falling backwards. Jeez, they're throwing him off like the 35-foot tower. Lux. I think his name is Luke or something. Am I saying it the right way? Is it Lux? This is an odd panel. He looks like he's eating him, but I think he's licking him. Right? This is good stuff, man. I hope you're enjoying this. I think I've said that about 4 times already. So there's a seeing eye dog. This is a story about a seeing eye dog, and we've got the Better Illustrator back. So immediately you can see, because the Better Illustrator gives us complete emotion. Look at the eyes. Look at that. Isn't that great? He's looking right up there, man. Wow, he's got one ear tilted. You can tell he's listening. Look at this panel. Wow, that's great. I like this, how he's kind of strolling. How you can see how, man, this is good. Oh shit, there's an open manhole. Handled it. Small potatoes for this guy. This is what's his name? They don't even tell us this dog's name. They're just telling us how seeing eye dogs work and how great they are. They're awesome. They're human friends. Diamond Espaniel, belonging to the great scientist Sir Isaac Newton, overturned a candle in his master's study one day. He caused a fire that destroyed the great man's work of a lifetime. Sir Isaac Newton comforted the cowering dog. Then he sat down and started his work from the beginning. Oh, that's the whole thing? The heck? That's a strange story. I thought that something was going to happen. I don't like this illustration, you guys, so I'm not going to even look at it. We're almost done anyway. It's almost a half hour. This isn't doing it for me. I don't want to spend time there. What's going on over here? Care. All right, let's look at this a little bit. So this is teaching a kid about the important things of having a dog. Housebreaking is very important. You don't want your dog pooping in your house. Feeding. What are these guys doing? I don't know. Though they're being patient because it's easier for the cats to be housebroken than the puppy, I guess. Feeding. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. They never stop eating. Grooming. You got to give them haircuts regularly. Unless they're the hairless types. Those Mexican ones, they're kind of cool looking. Those freak dogs. You'll need a doghouse. It looks pretty good. I mean, that looks like a good one. I like how he's happy. Traveling, don't leave him in the car, man. And then having a family, if you want to start a dog family, if you own a female dog, you can. But wait until she's at least a year to a year and a half old until you let her mate. Before that, keep her penned up for 63 days after the mating. Be sure your dog has enough exercise and a good diet. Your vet will give you directions for her care. Oh, look at the pups. Oh, look at this guy. It's Spuds MacKenzie. What? Since a dog... Oh, I thought it said since a dog lacks the ability to think. I didn't realize it said man's ability. I was like, what? They don't lack the ability to think. So he's talking about how, I mean, these dogs, man, they can speak English. I've seen it. They can speak every language. I've seen it totally happen. Like, these guys can learn to speak every language if you talk to them enough, and they figure out what each word means. I mean, not completely, not every word, but I mean, they have big vocabularies that they understand. I mean, I had a Staffordshire. His name was Gizmo. And he was something else. I mean, I had him, he would do stuff just with a little move of my hand, and then I had so many words, I can't even think of all the stuff that he knew. He listened to me. Very smart dogs. No, these dogs are smart things. They are awesome. Oh, look, this is interesting. It switched up tricks. Did you ever have a dog that could do tricks? My cousin, she taught her Labrador to do that thing where she would go like this, go like that, and he would fall over like he got shot. Yeah. How would your dog rate you? Oh, okay. Okay, let's look at this. When you think and talk about your dog, you judge him on his personality, his intelligence, loyalty, obedience, friendliness, and courage. But did you ever think that a dog would like his master to have certain qualities? The questions below will tell you a lot about your dog owner personality. After you've answered them, ask yourself, how would my dog rate me? This is cool because this is more of the stuff that your grandmother thought that this book was really going to be about. She thought that this would be about teaching you about dogs, and then maybe they were thinking in the future they might buy you a dog, like if you actually took care of the comic book or something. I don't know. But she was hoping that you read this part. Are you a good housebreaker? Can you whip up a decent supper for your dog? Have you ever earned your canine barber pole by clipping or shearing your dog? Can you build a doghouse? Would your dog choose you? Are you fully prepared to have a dog family? Do you know a slip chain collar from a horse collar? Can you make your dog heel? Do you have the right teaching attitude? Do you know how to talk to your dog? All this stuff is very important. Like I was just telling you, Gizmo and I, we could communicate both me speaking to him, and just with hand signals. I mean, I would move my hands in certain ways, and he knew what I was telling him to do. Without calling him over, I could go like this, and he would come over. If I wanted him to sit down or stop, I would go like this, and then go like that, and he would sit down. And it was really easy to teach him. Okay, that was a great book. Thanks for being here with me and hanging out and looking at the Illustrated Story of Dogs from 1958. I hope you had a good time. Have a great day or evening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the video. Like and share the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, because I'll make more. Take care.